Well, right after his conviction was announced by the court, former JDS MP Prajwal Revanna, who was declared guilty in the rape case, broke down in tears. And moments before the court was set to decide on his punishment, the convicted former MP appeared emotional and distressed and pleaded for minimum sentence. Labeled as a predator by the prosecution, Prajwal Revanna, however, continued to insist on his innocence even after the guilty verdict was pronounced. And the courtroom that witnessed high drama as he broke down, reportedly begging the judge for leniency. Now, as far as the quantum of sentence is concerned, Neha, that is expected to be announced today. But what do we call it? A drama that seems to be playing out in the court by the former MP himself. Why is he breaking down when he's already been pronounced guilty?
Well, Amita, of course, if we are to talk about the arguments in the court today, Prajwal Revanna himself, of course, pleading there before the judge now, urging him to grant him a minimum punishment, given that he's still young, given that he has aged parents. He has, in fact, an aged grandfather as well, Devi Gowda, in fact, and most importantly also, even as, of course, he went on to plead there before the judge, he says that all of this, in fact, was political vendetta. Those are the arguments that his advocates had put forward. They're saying that just 6 days prior to the elections, you have these videos there coming out, given that he had a good chance of winning the election. In fact, still, even as, Prajwal Revanna, of course, legal team there went on to suggest that, while they're not, going to be challenging the order of the court, while they accept the verdict that the court has declared, they still went on to maintain that this was a political vendetta. Remember, of course, on the other hand, the prosecution here, we had the special public prosecutors who argued for maximum imprisonment, for maximum, in fact, for life really to be given here to him, given that none of these women, even if he does walk out, would be safe earlier, that there's no remorse. Remember, of course, very sharp words there coming in from the special public prosecutor saying that he's not expressed any kind of remorse here, at which time, even as he was pleading there, the judge, of course, going on to ask him about his educational background, and while he suggested that, he's, of course, passed all of his examinations as far as education is concerned with merit, he went on to plead with the judge that he be given minimum punishment. Of course, while now the matter is going to come up at 2:45, where the verdict or where the punishment is going to be pronounced for him, we'll really have to wait and see. Quite a few compelling arguments that came in there, in fact, from the special public prosecutors, while seeking life sentence.
That has now been said on part of the prosecution as far as what's the point of now being distressed, as far as he's already now been pronounced guilty. He's now been convicted of rape in one of the 4 cases that we are looking at, and later in the day, as Neha will be getting us the updates, the quantum of sentence would be pronounced by the court. ET Now, Leaders of Tomorrow is now back with season 13, and yes, this is India's longest running television show dedicated to MSMEs. And this season, Leaders of Tomorrow is spotlighting the spirit of Indian entrepreneurs through the theme Agility, Ambition, Ascent. Now witness how bold visionaries are now adapting to change and reaching new heights. And don't miss the Leaders of Tomorrow season 13 that starts from the 4th of August, Monday to Friday at 7:30 p.m. only on ET Now.